Tigers fans, how the heck are we doing today? I have not seen like one positive comment across any social media platform about our team, and it is really, really disappointing because our boys truly did fight tooth and nail yesterday against the Manly Sea Eagles, and there are some things that we did really, really wrong, and that should have been different, but there are also some things that we did really, really right, and it's given us glimpse at amazing things to come for the West Tigers. We're going to be breaking all that down, plus the game stats going into each player, some of the key highlights of that and what that all looks like going forward. And then, Apisai Koroisau, we have an update on his injury and then who is obviously going to step in for him. We're going to be talking about that today. But before we do that, welcome back to NRL Deep Dive, or Hear the Raw if you're on the podcast. This is your one-stop shop for all things West Tigers on the daily. We do daily uploads in here. My name is Jordy. I'm your proud host, West Tigers fan, analysis, whatever you want to call me. And I love the West Tigers, but more importantly, I love this community. So I'd love for you to join this community by liking, subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing it with a friend. Helps me and the YouTube and podcast algorithms out a ton. So let's get into it because we got a big video to cover. First off the bat is our possession and completion rates. We saw last night with the 28-10 loss to Manly Sea Eagles, we held the ball 49% of the time. We only had the ball for about 29 minutes, 31 seconds with an 81% completion rate. Now, the completion rate, it can say a lot of things. It can say that we were playing good footy. It can say that we were making plays happen. But in reality, there was just no structure to those plays, right? And so as we go forward, I just want to reiterate that if we can get our structure down, the fact that we had Jerome Luai out, we had Apisai Koroisau out as well, we had Jareem Buller out. These are our pivotal, backbone players that were out, and other people were forced to reshuffle. We had Heath Mason start at 1. He ended up in the halves, and then we had our bench center winger ended up in the fullback for a bit, and everything just kind of went crazy. Things just did not go to plan last night, and that's okay because we did fight tooth and nail, and I believe that we do have some amazing things to be proud of. And the fact that Adam Dewey got up and ran some crazy meters that we'll dive into here in a minute was just super impressive and super kind of enlightening, if you will. Like the fact that he stood up and was like, hey, I will be the leader. Uppy's out, Jerome Luai's out, our skippers are gone. I will lead this team. I will make something happen. And we did. We saw Seyfarth go over the line. We saw TDS go over the line. It looks like bro was about to cry. I don't know if everything's setting in with that possibly being his last game with the West Tigers, but things were just crazy last night. And so as we keep looking at our stats, a few key points that I wanted to highlight. We were definitely, making some great meters. We made 510 post-contact meters. That is something that we need to be super proud of. Give a lot of credit to our forwards. They were running hard last night. They were also taking a lot of tackles hard on attack and on defense, and so they were definitely getting gassed out a lot, and they were definitely getting a run for their money. But Terrell May, Fonupole, Sion Fainu, these guys, Samuela as well, these guys were the guys pushing our team forward, and these were the guys that, kept that momentum, kept that rhythm, and honestly kept me in happy spirits to seeing them, consistently show up. Now, it wasn't perfect for sure. There were definitely some rough areas, some rough patches that we could have done better in, but overall, these guys, put up some good meters and some good hit-ups. We saw 7 offloads, which was not surprising. We see a lot of offloads. I believe we're leading the comp in offloads. That's just part of our secret sauce this season, and I think it's kind of always been, we like that second phase play, so that really did help us out a lot. We saw 441 receipts with total passes of 250, and I believe a reason why we weren't passing as much or getting those high numbers was Jerome Luai. He's one of those guys that likes to pass the ball. With him out, I just think we saw a lot. With Alfie out as well, we saw a lot of decrease in our passing. But on the other hand, we saw Heath Mason, we saw Latu Fainu trying to make plays happen on their own, and so there's this give and take and this balance that I'm not sure where we're at yet. But for the fact that Latu had no 5'8" with him that is experienced like Jerome Luai, then I'm all bloody happy for him. I really think he went kicked it out of the park for what he had. Although for Heath Mason, man, I just think we need to think of someone different for the next few weeks. And I love Mason. I really do. And this comes from a place of love and respect for you, man. I just think you got a few things that you just need to nail in and hone in. And once that's good to go, bro, you are going to be unstoppable. But in the meantime, I could definitely see Luke Lau'i stepping in at fullback for Bullaway. He's out. I can see with Jerome Luai possibly being out with Origin and stuff, I could definitely see someone like Adam Dewey stepping in and Talon May coming in on early. That would be sweet. I know he didn't have a great game from what I heard. I didn't watch the game, but from what I heard, it wasn't the best game in Cup. But, you know, having Adam Dewey in at that 6 might be a really, really good thing, and bringing Talon in there. There's just a few different things that we're going to work out this week as a channel, but also as a club that I really want to be a part of. So who would you pick to go in our halves if Jerome Luai isn't back from Origin? I don't think he's going to be, and just with his hospitalization and everything, things are just up in the air. Apisai Koroisau is out as well, and Jareem Buller are out. So we got to put up our best 3 players. Who would you put in those after seeing last night's performance? But huge props to Latu Fainu. Even his kicking game. We've been saying on this channel for a while, chat, is his kicking game. We want to see that. And honestly, his bombs are great. His grubber was great. His little chips are great. I am pretty keen on what he has to offer. We saw 738 kicking meters. That's something that we can be super proud of. And then defensively as well, here is something really interesting. We saw a 91.34% effective tackle percentage. And that, to me, screams volume of hey, we were actually fighting tooth and nail. That first half, we didn't leak a single point up until 46 seconds before half time. And that's just, that was, to me, it was super amazing to see. Then he had a 90.5% effective tackle rate, so we upped them by 1%. And yeah, it really did show. That 1% really did show. We had a solid defensive unit, especially in that first half. The second half, there were a lot of lapses there. Things just started piling up. We saw errors from single players. They started making more and more errors. We saw Appy go out. There was just things. There was a lot of reshuffling. There was just a lot of things that started adding up, and that does a lot on a team, especially up against a solid team like Manly. But we didn't go 28-0. We went 28-10. We got Safe after the line. We got Talon over the line, and that is something we should be extremely proud of. Now, in terms of individual performances, I just wanted to highlight a few. Of course, Adam Dewey, he had 13 runs for 130 meters, and that also had 36 post-contact meters. I think he definitely gains a man of the match title for me. We saw Jarrell Skelton with 121 run meters. He had 46 post-contact meters, such a big body with 15 runs. Super pumped on what he was doing. There are definitely a few lapses that we need to clean up going forward. Latu Fainu, 81 meters for 35 post-contact meters at 9 runs. Again, good effort for considering that this is his first full 80. Terrell May, 15 runs, 121 meters, 56 post-contact meters. That is what we needed. We need those big post-contact meters. Same thing with Fonua Pole with 135 meters, ran for 18 runs, and then 56 post-contact meters. Those are the guys that were keeping us going forward, in my opinion. As we look here, we look at tackle breaks. We saw Adam Dewey again, 6 tackle breaks. Again, man of the match type stuff. Alex Twal really did turn it up last night. He had some tackle breaks as well, and he played about 43 minutes from what I understand. And then as we keep looking forward here, we got our passing receipts, all of that stuff here. Again, Latu Fainu making those passes, those receipts, 56 as well. Apisai Koroisau making 72 passes. Talon De Silva making 68 passes. These are the guys that we needed to make passes, and they were doing that, and I was super pumped on that. There was something I did notice though with our wingers and centers. They were running the ball first through fourth a lot, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just don't think that was the right move. Once we started getting that forward momentum with direct play of the balls, where we were running our big guys, we saw a lot of meters gained, but also a lot of rhythm also set, and that's what I think we need to keep doing going forward. Not running our centers and wingers, just making sure they're in their position ready to go. Tackle efficiency, Heath Mason are at 93.75% with 15 tackles made. We've 1 ineffective tackle, no missed tackles, so that there was really solid. Just on attack, man, just there were things that just weren't clicking, and maybe he's been out of fullback for a few weeks too long, or just the pressure's getting to him, or just everything that's kind of the perfect storm, if you will, is happening. But I think definitely cut for a couple weeks for all the best reasons. And the reason why is just to make sure that he hones in his skills. If he's going to be playing good minutes here next year especially, like I just want to make sure he is tip-top shape, ready to go. Samuel Taruva, 100% tackle efficiency for 2 tackles made. I honestly wasn't too impressed with Taruva's performance last night, if I'm being completely honest. I love the bloke again. Love and respect for everything I say. Just wasn't what I was expecting for a game like this. But every player has a bad game, but I love his attitude and energy that he brings to the team. Adam Dewey, 10 tackles made, 1 ineffective tackle, 90%. Super pumped on that. Terrell May, as always, kicking it out of the park with 50 freaking tackles made, 98% with 1 ineffective tackle. That is what you want from your big prop. My goodness, that was so solid. Same thing, Fonu Pole, Latu Fainu, those high 80s. That's what we want. Jackie Bird came through, 41 tackles. He had 1 missed tackle, but a 97.62% tackle efficiency rate, and that speaks volume for such a versatile and small player compared to people like Royce Hunt, Fonu Pole, Samuel Fainu, people like that. That's something that we need to be super proud of and give a lot of credit to. Seyfarth again, 91% with 33 tackles, 90% Twali, and then 90% for Seyfarth. Seyfarth came through. I was super stoked on his performance last night, something that I think we need to see more of, and I think he knows that as well. Cyan Fainu, 94.12%, 32 tackles, 2 missed. Not a bad performance at all for the Fainu brothers, something we can be definitely proud of. Tony Suka came through with his few minutes that he had with 11 tackles made at 100% efficiency. That's what we want. That's why we signed him and extended him, and that's what we want to continue having. So all in all, not too bad. I really do think there is a lot to be proud of and a lot to kind of give credit, like where credit's due kind of thing. There's just some things that we have to start working on. But I think that's going to come. We needed a leader last night. We didn't have that until Adam Dewey stepped up. We needed someone to steer the ship. That's Jerome Luai. We didn't have that, and we didn't have our star fullback, Jareem Buller. So there was just these things that we couldn't control that were out of our control, but the way that we came out and we fought to the very last minute, that to me speaks volume. Now, I've been copping a lot of hate online for saying that. People saying, no, like, you were so naive. You shouldn't be denying the fact that we suck, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, yeah, it wasn't our best performance. I'm not proud of our performance. I'm proud of our effort. I'm proud of the fight that the boys put up. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's all I care about. And speaking of fight, we see here Apisai Koroisau taking that nasty hit, knee to the head. He's been ruled out for at least 11 days, so he's going to be missing next round 18 next week against the Roosters because he's got a Cat 1 concussion. So that's super sad, and make sure you send a lot of love and prayers to him in the comments below. And next up here is his replacement. I really do think Tristan Hope, he's had his debut already. He did great things for us, but I think this is the guy that is going to take his place while Appy is out. And as we think with TDS leaving here soon, probably going to Manly, this is the guy I think that we need to give more minutes to and really build a club around. And same thing with Jared Hayward. So expecting to see Hope or Hayward on the next roster here, the next team list going up against the Roosters. Really intrigued to see what Benji does. But Tigers fans, how are you, man? Like, how are you feeling? How are you in agreements, disagreements with some of my thoughts and opinions? What stood out to you last game? What did you think we did really well? Who were some of the key players? Like, on this channel, I'm all about positivity. We know that it wasn't a great performance. We know who did bad things and didn't, execute right. So I want to talk about who did do great things and who did execute right, because at the end of the day, we need to focus on the positive. We know what we got to fix. They know what they got to fix. I'm sure Benji's going to rip him a new one, but at the end of the day, we have to support our boys no matter what till the day we freaking die. Tigers fans, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a review no matter where you're listening from. And I super appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, take care of yourself and up the mighty bloody Tigers, baby.